So I'm going to walk you through step by step, and it'll be brief, of the process of going through a divorce from high level, from both parties' perspectives. Number one, someone's going to file, and let me do this from a more of an amicable situation as well. So the first step is, honestly, the first step is you guys should talk and make sure you guys are on the same page if you want to keep your divorce amicable. Don't just go hire someone or file for divorce and have your spouse served. Even if you guys are friends, I tell you, been married a long time. If I got served divorce papers and I had no warning, even if it was from a friend at my house or in the mail, I'd be like, what the heck? I think it would put me back and say, this doesn't seem to be starting off quite that as like I'd like it to. So it's going to put someone off. So talk before you file. Discuss who should become the petitioner. Keep in mind, it makes no difference who the petitioner is. Doesn't matter. Usually the person who is starting the divorce ends up paying for it, at least with my clients are concerned, but definitely talk about it before you file. So the first step is that a petition for divorce is filed. There's going to be some additional forms that go along with that, but that's the basis of it. You're going to file for divorce. In the petition, there's no terms, there's no agreements. There's basically, you're just telling the court, giving them the statistical information they need: names, addresses, date of marriage, date of separation, children's names, date of birth, more of the boilerplate. There is some information in there, like what are your thoughts on child custody? Is it going to be joint? Is it going to be sole, etc.? And then they ask about spouse support. What's your thoughts on spouse support? Are you thinking of requesting it? Are you thinking you might going to pay it? Is there going to be support never, now or in the future, or you don't know, and maybe there'll be some support in the future? I put those in plain English. That's not how they read out on the petition, but I just wanted you to understand in plain English what those mean. And then when it comes to assets and debts, it asks, what is your separate property? What is your community property? You don't have to list your assets and debts on the petition. You don't have to put forth a settlement agreement type document with your petition. It's very basic. In the property sections on the petition, we usually say something as simple as to be amended, or parties intend to reach a full agreement on all issues, or something like that. You don't have to list assets and debts in the petition. It's very boilerplate. That gets filed, and the case number gets issued. That's it. That's what happens when you file for divorce. Nothing else fancier than that. Then the next step is, once the case has been filed and you have a case number, the next step is the paperwork needs to be served. Now, there's multiple ways that you can serve divorce documents, and I won't go into all of them. I did a full video that was about 20 minutes long that talked about I think it was called the 6 ways of serving your spouse. With us, the easiest way is by notice and acknowledgement. It's simply a form that the other party, the respondent, will sign that says they received a copy of it by mail. That's it. You don't have to get friends to serve them. You don't have to hire a process server, and you don't have to hire the sheriff. All of those are options to have your spouse personally served, but why do that when it can be as simple as having them sign a piece of paper that has the same purpose as being served in person? That's how we do it. So I've done it for 12 years. And it's one of the first questions that people ask in the consultations is, Tim, let me know when he's going to be served or she's going to be served, because I want to give them a heads up. Guess what? Nobody's getting served like you think. After they're served, that's what starts the clock on the 6 months. There's a lot of confusion around that. The filing date is not the date that the clock starts on the 6 months. It's the date that your the date that they are served or signed this notice and acknowledgement. And that's what starts the clock. Now, moving forward, it's a 6-month process. If you finalize your divorce within that 6 months, like most of our clients are done within the month, we can submit it for review and approval, and the court will pre-approve it and process it and finalize it. Like the case we had approved today, it was approved today. We started it last month. We turned it in on the 31st day, which is the soonest we can for review and approval, and they're done. Divorce approved, signed by the court, the whole thing. Their final divorce date is April 28th, 2024, next year, because of the 6 months. So that's how we do it. That's what you can expect when working with me and my services. We're gonna get it knocked out. We're not going to drag this out through a 6-month process. We don't have to wait 6 months to turn it in for review. We can turn it in as soon as 31 days after your spouse has been served, i.e., signed that notice and acknowledgement.